churches. That's
a
a
whorehouse.
You guys preach about
That church.
so we would be the Israelites. We would be the people of the Bible.
I'm telling you. Bear with us. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, pretty much. We're teaching the gospel of the Bible. Pretty much, we would be the Israelites, the people of the Bible.
why are you saying that about that church?
That's what the church is, a fashion show. It's a party, and the Lord didn't send none of those preachers to preach the word because they're peace preachers. You know, Ezekiel 7, and the Bible warning the people. Every day they clap, take your money. They don't really go into prophecy. You know, the Lord said there'll be wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, famines. The church not talking about none of that. So that's pretty much it. And overall, how the Lord destroyed Egypt to free his people, the Lord is going to destroy America to free his people. So it would be Egypt all over again. And America would be spiritual Egypt, as called in the book of Revelation. And we know this place is spiritual Egypt because on the back of the dollar there's a pyramid, signifying that this is spiritual Egypt. And in ancient Egypt, the people was in captivity a little over 400 years. And we know that, especially 2019, everybody was saying, you know, African Americans been in America about 400 years. So that 400 year period is up. And now the Lord is about to jump into action. That's why we seeing rumors of wars happening. Just all kind of stuff being shaken up. That's the Lord shaking up this place, America, like he shook up Egypt. And then after that, it's going to be destruction by fire, which that fire is going to come by nuclear missiles. It's not going to be a place called hell that's opening up. Yep.
That's why you hear so many talks of countries talking about nuclear missiles all of a sudden.
That's the next biggest fad right now. Yeah, because the destruction is going to come from above, not from beneath.
That makes a lot of sense.
America's gonna be destroyed. America's gonna burn metal. This is gonna be the lake of fire. We in Babylonian lake right now. This place, all these countries that got nuclear missiles, on a time.
So a lot of people gonna die before that, either from the sword, the famine, or the pestilence. But who's ever left remaining, especially those who get the microchip, the mark of the beast, they're gonna be the ones that take part in that nuclear destruction. The only people that will be saved will be the elect, and the elect will be the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. So the Lord gonna save 1/3 of his people from that destruction.
How do we get saved?
So destruction will only be for the nation of Israel. Yes, I'm sorry. Salvation will be for the 1/3 of the nation of Israel.
Does it matter if you
I'm sorry. What was that?
It doesn't matter if you got a criminal record. No, that definitely gonna knock you out the box. But what it is
they had to knock it out?
it won't.
Oh.
You know, how about Shimmy outside? He don't care about that. You know, but you have to be from the bloodline of the Israelites.
So if you think about the time of Moses in Egypt, that was their first salvation. The Lord saved the Israelites from their land of their captivity. That's what salvation is. It's being saved from your enemies. So same thing with America. The Lord gonna save his people from the land of their captivity. So I mean, you won't know, but when you turn the, I'm gonna jump to it real quick.
You have to have one of these super
Spiritual thing.
So Psalms 147.
Y'all have any more?
Nah.
Let him bring this precept.
Oh yeah, Psalms 147 and 19. It says he showeth his word to Jacob. Jacob will be Israel, and the word will be this entire book. You know, it doesn't say he showed it to the world or to all people, but it says he showed his word to Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments to Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So pretty much, if people can come into the understanding of this word and they're not offended, they will most likely be Israelites. Because the scriptures say, blessed is he who's not offended. Like even most Israelites that look like us, they get offended by this word if they stay long enough to listen. But those who will not be offended, they can truly understand it. They very likely probably go back to the nation of Israel. So that's how we would know.
Because I've never understood anything about it.
Yeah, and that's why we don't mess with the church.
That's why we don't go to those.
The scriptures say that the Heavenly Father is not an author of confusion. You know, we go to churches our whole life and never learn nothing.
He don't also don't forget. So we got a sign right here.
So this would be the club size of Israel. Pretty much everybody that's at the bottom of society. This would be the word calls us the green. And this would be the word called the white.
Shalom, brother.
It's African American, black, European. None of those names are in the Bible. So the first thing we understand in the Bible. Yeah, and then we got pictures with the talk and also scripture. To show me the ancient Israelites look like pictures that was in abandoned cities and towns overseas. And thanks to the internet, we got the pictures and I was able to print them out.
I gotta go to the restroom. I'll be back.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, this is a visual representation of what we're saying.
Well, that's cool. I see all of your vlogs, so.
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing.
We tried to go to that church across the street. We had a really bad experience.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, I used to go to that church too a long time ago.
They're not very nice. There's one lady over there that's very, very rotten.
Hey, they all rotten. Like even Joe Osteen, he got caught laundering money, $600 some $1,000 of checks and cash in the walls. That's why the Lord shut those churches down during the pandemic. You know.
Yeah, I don't believe in church either. I don't even go to church.
Oh yeah.
It tears me down. Yeah. But I don't understand the Bible, so I don't try to either.
Yeah, I say, the Lord said in Matthew 13 and 11, it's given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it's not given. So it's only given to like a select few to get it, because the Lord had a small circle. So that's what it is.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, for sure.
We had some people to come up before we got started. So before we start off with the lesson, we are already facing the east. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodas. Loving honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, teaching the scripture in entirety. It's your brother Kalab, also go by Hope, Grace, and Mercy.
And I'm the brother Live. Go by Heart of David on YouTube. And real quick, my main channel got its second strike. So I won't be on there for 90 days until those strikes come off. So I'm on a previous channel. So that's where I'm gonna be.
What's the channel name?
And that channel name, it would be Heart of David 144 main channel. So type in Heart of David 144 main channel, it should pop up. So that's where I'm gonna be at. I'll post the link on my old channel in 2 weeks.
Got the big brother Amawan Yasharala on there.
Shalom Akim and the brother Gaia Kabar. I think that's a brother that be with Shadow of Thy Wings, I'm thinking.
Okay. Shalom, ma.
Can you confirm that for me? I think that's who you are. That's a bit.
All right, we out here on these highways and hedges again. Met up in Louisville, Texas. Also again, out here bringing out the word, prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, this wicked queendom. We know that destruction is one more day closer, man. So that's why we out here. You got anything you wanna talk about?
No, so let's jump into some of the articles real quick.
I actually got to take pictures of the articles. We'll get those.
Oh, okay.
We'll get the articles another time.
Oh yeah, you get them another time. Yeah, other than that, we're gonna get into the lesson. Oh, that's a brother that preach non-stop.
Oh, Shalom.
Okay, Shalom, Mike.
Right there, Cal.
Salaki, I got you mixed up. That's a man. Okay.
Brothers linking up through the spirit, man. That's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
But just a quick thing about those articles I usually have on my iPad, but it's war, man. It's just war.
Oh yeah.
War going out throughout the four corners of the earth, man. You know, the war drums are sounding. You know, you got ears to hear and eyes to see. You know, it's a beautiful thing. You know, for all the destruction that's coming at hand. You know, bring it on. You know, bring it on. We want it all.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So yeah, the lesson we gonna get into Esau. Yeah. So the lesson we gonna get into Esau because we gonna talk about how he's death in the spirit and he's death manifested in the flesh, and then we gonna get in how that death will be destroyed.
Bear with us, you know. The wind blowing pretty hard, but everything kind of stable right now. You know, we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. First precept we're going to bring out, it's coming from the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 10. And it reads, "The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have life, have it more abundantly."
So yeah, that's the duality of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. You see, in the first part of the verse, it talked about how the thief, the enemy, will come to steal, kill, and destroy. That's death. And then at the end of that verse, Yahweh Shah talks about, I come to bring life, and that they might have life more abundantly. So on one end, and really, life and existence, you got the entity, the spirits, the people that represents death. On the other side, you got those that represent life. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, and the man that's been raised up in the spirit, we represent life. Can you read that first part? Just the first part about killing to destroy.
The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy.
And yeah, the church will tell you that that's the devil and Satan. Really, that's going to Esau, the so-called white man, because you got a people that's done all those things in the earth. And again, the so-called white man.
And he doing it right now.
Yeah.
He's still doing it right now. Yahweh Shah, he came to so that we may have life more abundantly. Because Esau, on a corner level too, like he's stealing money from your bank account. You get your you think you're gonna get a income tax check. They come up with some reason why they took the whole income tax check.
Yeah.
You know, he's stealing your money. He been killing Jake since he been having the sword.
Since Cain and Abel. Hey.
And he also destroying the earth, destroying, you know what I'm saying, the Israelite household, the family. You know, he ain't never stopped doing what he's doing. He's playing up on table.
Hey, yeah, and this devil committed the highest degree of identity theft and fraud in the earth. So he's a criminal on all levels. We gonna get it more into it, but Esau is that character death in the scriptures. And then Yahweh Shah again, he's life. And just like Yahweh Shah said, he came to bring life and that they had it more abundantly. Well, Esau is bringing death, and that he may bring death more abundantly. And that's why the scriptures speak about this a time of great mournings and great sorrow, great famine, but also great death. Turn it down, write it down.
I gotta turn the internet off. I got all that stuff on. I'm gonna turn it down. That battery, you hate it. It's lucky for that.
I'll show you a quick way real quick.
I want to turn my battery safe.
Oh, okay, bet. Maybe display. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's lucky for that.
Okay, bet.
All right.
Oh yeah. So again, Yahushua is the way that leads to life, and that's what that's what he brings. You know.
Next precept is coming from the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 6, and it reads, Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
So yeah, Yahushua said he's the way, the truth, and the life. He broke his neck.
Yeah, he broke his neck looking up.
Alright. And what we should get from that verse is that you got truth and you got life in the same sentence. And what's that truth? Well, this true gospel or this true doctrine of Yahweh Shemi Yahushua. This that truth that leads to life. But he said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. So there's a way that leads to life, and that's this truth. But on the other hand, you got other ways out here that don't lead to life. Well, if truth leads to life, that means everything else, which is a lie, must lead to death. And that would be Esau. Esau is the way of lies and death. Yahushua is the way of truth and life. And we just setting up the lesson to show how Esau and everything he represents is death. But that was it.
Next precept is coming from the book of Luke, chapter 4 and verse 4. And Yahushua answered him, saying, It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of Yahweh, thy power.
So yeah, just previously, Yahushua said, I am the way, I'm the truth, and the life. Well, the brother just read that we don't live by bread alone, but we live by this word. So this word is the way of truth that leads to life. And everything that's outside of this word is a lie, and those are the ways that lead to death. So a lie leads to death. So Yahushua set up truth in the earth by the form of this word, and there's been lies set up as well, which will keep you from this word, which will keep you from this truth, which will keep you from the ways that lead to life.
Only those that have spiritual eyes to see and ears to hear, is going to be able to understand it. That's a beautiful thing because of the time that we in. We one more day closer. And, people are out here in folly, thinking themselves to be in a good case, not knowing that, they being led to the slaughter.
Hey, yep. Because the ways that lead to death it's all mentally. It's what you believe and it's what you think. Like you say, they think they in a good case. Yeah. Hey, that was a lie that was set up in the earth to think that you'll be good forever. Pretty much like we want to see this day of judgment.
Like this place is gonna go on forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yup, that's a lie that Esau the so-called white man told you. Because in its truth, we know Ezekiel 75, the end is come. They watching for thee. Evil and only evil is coming.
You can't even be in your right mind want to remain in this place forever.
Man, hell no.
Who the hell want to remain in Babylon the Great forever, man?
Man, paying bills, taxes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Edomites talking to you and looking at you crazy.
The unlimited, so many unlimited ways, man, for you to just be stressed out in this place, man. Like shit. You can have it's so backwards. Like you can not have a job and not have no work or stress, but have a job and be stressed out more than anything, man. Just straight confusion.
Yeah. So again, the Lord brought life by this word, and on the other hand, there's lies that lead to death, because the works of the Lord are 2 and 2. So to have the truth which leads to life, you gotta have lies that leads to death. Yeah. And this the precept from the brother Amoan Yasha'Allah, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not on thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Yeah, why should you not lean on your own understanding?
Right.
It's good to say that the heart is deceitful above all things. So your heart, what you believe in, what you feel like, is lying to you. that's pretty much the devil on your shoulder. It'll lead you astray. And what? Lean not on your own understanding, but trust in the Lord and lean on him, because what did the Lord say? I am the way and the truth and the life.
All right. Next precept is coming from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 33 and verse 15. And it reads, so look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another.
Yeah, so that's a duality of Yahweh Shah, or Yahweh Bashum Yahweh Shah. Was going back to the first verse, John 10 and 10. The Lord said, the thief come not, but to steal, kill, and destroy. Then right after, the Lord reverse it on you and say, I come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. That's because the works of the Lord are two and two. That's why you got hot and cold. That's why you got up versus down. But even on the bigger scale, you got the righteous versus the wicked. You got life versus death. And the brother got that for you right now.
All right. Coming from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 33 and verse 14. And it reads, good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
Yeah, so that's why the Lord said the thief is coming to steal, kill, and destroy. But I am coming that they might have life and have it more abundantly. That's why he said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. While you got Esau, the white man out here, he will be the way of lies, deceit, deception, which all leads to death. And then Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, that would be the godly that's set against the sinner. And the sincere man of the Lord, the elect, we would be the godly, again, that's set against the sinner.
Right.
Because the works of the Most High are two and two. So if you got Yahweh Shai who came in the flesh and his men that he raised up under him, Yahweh Shai the way, the truth, and the life. Hey, we also the way, the truth, and the life, and because we following the leader. We following the ways that lead to life. But you got controlled opposition out here that's set up to lead you to the ways that lead to death. Because that's why I say, good against evil, but life against death. You got that fork in the road. You gonna go this way, you gonna go that way.
Blessings and curses.
Oh, yeah.
As long as we was in the world made us feel like that we were normal. But the moment that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai woke us up to this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and we turn our feet to the testimony, now look out the world. It went from being your friend to making you seem like you're weird, you're not normal, you're wasting your time, all those kind of things. But like I was saying before we went live, I like looking like a fool for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I like being out here doing the work. I like jumping up like the brother Amawan Yashar say, in pure power, jumping up and down. Out here on these highways and hedges. Even if we only got 10 precepts, you get your beep out here and you prophesy. It's a wonderful thing, man, for the world to turn its back on you because you the godly and the world is the evil.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And then before you get that precept, I think it's how to
All right, yeah.
All right, real quick, I'm gonna get this real good. So we just read that the Lord said, good set against evil, life against death. Going back to John 14 to 16, the Lord said, I am the way and the truth and the life. Yahweh Shai is the life. Well, check out this next verse. You're gonna find out that is somebody that represents death.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5, and it reads, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Yeah, that's what the brother just read. And is as death. So meaning his coming in the earth, everything he represent and live for, it leads to death. But that's why the beginning of that verse, it says he transgressive by wine. Because when you transgress, what are you transgressing? You transgress the law. And what's that? That's sin. And what does sin lead to? Death. And his wine would be his doctrines, philosophies, his belief system, his lifestyles, how you live. It leads to death.
Not just here in Babylon. All these other nations have drunk the wine of Babylon the Great as well. You know?
So yeah, they transgress by the same wine. That's gonna lead to the same death.
Right.
So Yahweh Shah said, I'm the way and the truth and the life. Well, when Yahweh Shah said, I'm the way, just like the scripture say, he transgressed by wine. Well, that's a doctrine in the philosophy. Well, the way of Yahweh Shah, that's a doctrine in the philosophy too. That's why the brother read Luke 4:4, that you shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceed out the mouth of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Well, those words is actually a doctrine in philosophy. It's also a form of wine, you know. But this form of wine, the word, it don't cause you to transgress. So you won't sin, which leads to death. You know, you'll be counted as righteous. But this wine, this Babylon juice, you know, it leads to death.
All right, next precept is coming from the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. We start at verse 8, and it reads, And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Okay, so yeah, the wicked, which we know be the so-called white man, because what the Lord say, set the godly against the sinner, good against evil, the righteous against the wicked. Malachi 1:4, we know who the wicked is. Esau, Edom. Well, the brother just read his coming is after the working of Satan. Well, if Yahweh Shah said, I'm the way, I'm the truth, and the life, and that is the word, the doctrine, the philosophy of Yahweh Shah that leads to life, well, it must be other ways that lead to death, which would be lies. And that's why he's after the working of Satan. Get the next verse.
With all power and signs of lying wonder.
Okay, so yeah, that's why he said with lying wonders. So the root word is a lie. And I think it's the next verse. It says with all deceivableness and unrighteousness. And when you deceive, that was what? That was a lie being told. So Esau, the so-called white man, he's after the working of Satan to lead you away from the truth, to lead you away from the ways that lead to life. Ultimately, to lead you away from this word so that you might be deceived. And as you continue to read, it reads that the Lord will send a strong delusion by Satan that they might believe a lie, so that they all might be damned who don't believe the truth. So it's a penalty for not believing the truth, and it's that you will be damned. So if Yahweh Shah, you know, his ways lead to life and truth, Satan will lead you astray from the truth, and that's accomplished by the hand of the so-called white man. Because remember, he transgressed by wine, which will be his doctrines and philosophies and lifestyle, is set up to keep you from the truth, to lead you to death. And that's why at the end of that verse, it said he is as death. Can you read that again? Habakkuk 2:5. So we're going to get Habakkuk 2 and 5 real quick, so that we can hear it all put together again.
Right? Again, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people.
Hey, yup. So all of that stuff, he is as death. He caused the whole world to transgress by his wine. Not to mention, it says he enlargeth his desire as hell. He can't be satisfied. That's why Yahweh Shah called him the thief. And he what? He gathereth all people. People unto him all nations. That's why Yahweh Shah called him the thief. Hey, because the thief, he gonna steal, kill, and destroy until he get what he wants.
Never be satisfied.
And he is still not satisfied. So, in his wake, he leave nothing but death and destruction. That's why he is as death. And that's in the spirit, but also in the flesh.
That's that penalty that 2/3 of our people who gonna have to pay is because, you know, it's the penalty for going to these harlot houses. You know, it's a penalty for believing in Kemet and Buddha and Sandra Maria and the Hindu gods and stuff. It's a penalty for that, you know, especially for our people, the Israelites, that's caught up in all that BS. You know, and the penalty is that you blinded and you're gonna be destroyed also with that.
And then what the brother just said, Buddha, Hindu, the harlot houses, all that stuff, hey, that's a form of wine.
Yep.
And that's why I say he transgressive by wine.
Yep.
You know, all this stuff is set up and promoted by Esau. You know, Esau promotes everything but the truth. Because what? His coming, the wicked, is after the working of Satan. Satan is a deceiver. The white man is the deceiver manifested in the flesh to lead you away from the ways that lead to life, which will be this truth in the form of this word.
Right. Next precept we're going into is coming from the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24. And it reads, "The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?"
So who covered the faces of the judges? And to cover, it means to be hidden. So they hid the true identity of pretty much Bible history by painting them with white faces. And that's how we know who the wicked is.
Right. Wicked. Yeah, you know who the wicked is by the audacity that they have. You ain't never seen no Chinese Jesus. You ain't never seen no Jamaican Jesus. No Buddhist Jesus. The only so-called Jesus you ever really seen was Sim Cesare Borgia. You know, because only Esau, the wicked, has the audacity to create the Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, to be a so-called white man. You know.
Yeah, and Yahweh Shah being a so-called white man, that's a form of that wine that our people transgress by. You know, that was a stumbling block. That was a way, you know, that would be led. You know, that was a way of life and a way of believing that would lead to death. And real quick, Shalom. Man, that shit be annoying me, bro.
Annoying me, boy.
Hey, I was bugging out. Abuwan said,
Yeah.
hey, the Lord gonna make sure the brakes go out on your dump. Damn.
He said, I hate them damn hills.
I'm tired of this. And you know what people, hey, you know what else, you know, be pissing me off? You know, Esau, you know what Esau taught our people to do? That you can chop off the exhaust pipes.
Yeah.
Make your stuff loud in the mud. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and the car be slow as hell, but they done cut off the exhaust pipes. So it's loud as hell,
They going
but ain't
30
going
miles,
nowhere.
They going 30 miles per hour, sound like they do 108.
Man, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie here, but I was in the world, I did that.
Oh, man. All right, so we're going to get this real quick. All right, Ecclesiasticus chapter 37, verse 3. Oh, wicked imagination. That's that wine.
Yep.
Whence camest thou? And to cover the earth with the sea. Hey, the key word is wicked. We find out who the wicked is. What's an imagination? That's your thought. So everything that Esau has imagined and thought out, he covered the earth in that deception. You know, and that would be the wine that the whole earth is drunken with. And we know that wine is the way, it's a path, it's a belief system that's gonna lead to death. Hey, just to mention again. Hey, oh yeah, hey, yup, just like his father, because the scriptures say, hey, he is the father of lies. Hey, he said going father. Hey, this word is the form of wine too. That's why what Yahweh shall do at the party. He made his own wine. Right. And what they say the best wine for last.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, Lord,
y'all about some for us being able to sip of that the good wine.
Yeah.
You know, because that Christianity, that was the wine that went out first. You know? Yeah. And Israel tearing it up, especially Judah. You know what I'm saying? Boy, tearing that whack wine up, man.
And that's what you do at the party.
Yep.
You give out all the BS wine to everybody, what should be made of the desirables, and then you bring your own stash from out the closet or whatever.
Right.
You know, you only give it to a select few.
Right. Everybody else drinking that water stuff. We got the good cognac.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Filling our cups up on our own, man.
But yeah, the earth, the brother just read, is giving it to the hand of the wicked. And to be given it to the hand of the wicked means they in control of everything right now. By their government, laws, legislation, they're in rulership right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why English is a dominant language. And the dollar, you know, it's being phased out before all this time being a dominant currency. Everybody comes to America, you know, to get their education, to be indoctrinated by them. And it's the wicked that set the tone for the earth. You know, what manner of a man the ruler of a city is, such as all they that dwell therein. So Esau sets the vibration of the tone for the earth, and by his wicked imaginations. So everybody is really sharing in the ways of Esau, which leads to death. That's why you got LGBTQTs, GMOs, violence in the earth, which we gonna get into.
Training, read books in the library and stuff like that. I seen one teacher said that she think that all kids should be gay, and she was like, it's her mission to make all the kids. She a teacher, to make all the kids in her class to be gay. Come on, man, we gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here. And the brother Yahweh in South Carolina, he posted a quick video that the teacher said, you know, the kids who didn't want to comply with the LGBTQ stuff, that he was gonna force the kids to comply. And then what's the results of trannies and LGBTQTs? Is death.
Yeah.
Because 2 men and 2 women can't produce. The Lord said, be fruitful. So by default, if Esau had his way, everybody would die off.
Right.
That's why he is as death. And that's not even through violence, through his wine, his philosophies, but he's also death in the flesh by his violence, which we're gonna get into. Hold on, let's see. All right, 1 Ezra chapter 4, verse 37. Hey, that's the spirit. Hey, wine is wicked. Hold on. Hey, wine is wicked. Hey, what the brother just read. He transgressed by his wine. So wine is wicked, the king is wicked. Hey, the women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked. And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. And their unrighteousness also they shall perish. So yeah, that's the state of America and really the rest of the world. Hey, the wine, the belief systems, the women, the men, the children, everything is wicked. Hey, and they gonna perish in that.
All lies, man. Teaching lies.
I'm on also posted John 2 and 10. And say for to him, every man at the beginning do set forth good wine. Yeah. But let me continue. And when man have oil drunk, then that which is worse, but thou hast kept the good wine until now. So yeah, that wine, it seemed to be good. That's why everybody drunk of it. And it was what was the rest? But the good wine has been kept until now. And yup, and everybody drunk and sloppy off that wine. So they in the worst case now than they was before they drunk of that wine. Because Esau gave you this stuff to really to degrade you. That's why the scriptures say that our people destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And yeah, delivering and seeing Shalom. Yeah, the dragon, and he running the world. You know, Revelation 13, you know, NATO, EU. All right, I'm a wine also got Proverbs 7:21. With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. Hey, yup, and that's why our people, you know, took part in this wine. It was forced upon our people.
Right.
Yup.
Right. Moving on to the next precept is coming from the book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 4. And it reads, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword."
See? That's why Esau the white man is as death. You read that part again after the horse. Listen up. Because remember Habakkuk 2 and 5, he is as death. So remember what the scriptures say? The works of the Lord, 2 and 2, one set against another, life versus death, the godly versus the sinner. Yahweh Shah said, I am the way and the truth and the life. But Esau is as death, and he is the wicked. His coming is after the working of Satan. Well, check this out.
Right? And it reads, "And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword."
Yeah, so Esau the white man, we know Genesis 27 and about the 36th verse, Esau was blessed with the sword. That's why the scriptures say what manner of a man the ruler of a city is, such as all they that dwell therein. Well, Esau was given a sword, and Esau extended that sword to all the inhabitants of the earth. 1 second.
Out of the book of Mark chapter 1 and verse 15, and it reads, "And saying, the time is fulfilled, and the kingdom of Yahweh thy power is at hand. Repent ye and believe the gospel." You know that the time is ticking. Time is ticking. You know what I'm saying? The hourglass is almost out of sand. You know that's why it's important that our people, you know, come back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, believe on this gospel. Believe on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? Do away with those names, God and Jesus, because they ain't gonna be able to save you in the end.
So, bro, you give us some YouTube channels? Yeah. I keep it going.
Oh, you need to pay.
Oh, not be good. Hey, see, that's the spirit. The sister inquiring what we doing. So we're gonna have the brother Hope deal with her and give her some YouTube channels. But we gonna get what's on the comment board. So, to the elder, y'all will call down, stop on the block, Shalom. And all right, delivering the scene, we gonna get this. Do not drink wine, nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. It shall be a statute forever throughout all your generations. Damn, it's winter. Alright, so the Lord gave a commandment not to drink that wine or that strong drink. And we know that that wine and that strong drink will be the doctrines and the philosophies of the nations of people around us. Because the Lord said, if we drink that wine and strong drink, we shall die. That's why Habakkuk 2:5 read that he transgressed by wine. So that's what? We taking on the doctrines and the philosophies of all the other nations of people around us. And that's what? That's causing us to die. Because we're going to die in our iniquity. And that's why the first part of that verse, it says he transgressed by wine. And then the end of that verse, it starts to read, and he is as death. Because this wine, the doctrines and the philosophies of the people, specifically the so-called white man, it's a doctrine and philosophy that leads to death. Now back to Revelation chapter 6 verse 4, that the brother read, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that said thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given to him a great sword. Well, we know this red horse represents Esau, the so-called white man. Because what did it say? Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over, and his name was Esau. And it says him that sat on the horse, meaning he's sitting on the seat of power, meaning he's sitting on the throne. And he was given a sword to take peace from the earth. So Esau's blessing was extended to the inhabitants of the earth. That's why you got a Second Amendment. You know, the right to bear arms. So Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah armed Esau with the sword. Well, Esau arms everybody else with that same sword. That's why everybody got firearms, pistols, and rifles here in America. That's why all these countries got such a big budget for their military. That's Esau's blessing being extended to the inhabitants of the earth, so that what? So that the nations can go to war. That's why it says he was given a great sword to take peace from the earth. What's the opposite of peace? It's war. So Esau set up all these other nations to go to war against one another. That's peace being taken from the earth. That's why America is the center of all the drama of all the wars in the earth. And also, jumping back to Habakkuk 2 and 5, that's why it says he is as death. And then also too, going to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians, we're going to get 15 and 26. It reads, the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. So we know the Christian church breaks us down that we won't die no more. Well, that's a blessing that's reserved for the elect.
Trying to see how to spell the brother channel right. I keep on pulling up the one I got.
So yeah, we not dying no more. That's a blessing that's reserved for the elect in the nation of Israel. But really, when we see the last enemy that should be destroyed is death, that's really going into Esau. And because the Lord is coming to take Esau out of the way. That's why 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7, you know, it reads that pretty much that the Lord gonna let Esau do what he do until he's moved out of the way. And when Esau is destroyed, his doctrines and philosophies are gonna die off with him. When Esau is destroyed by these nuclear missiles, his LGBTQTs, his trannies, his white man's Christianity, his science, his oppositions of science, that's going to be destroyed in the fire. So the enemy, death himself, Esau, going to be destroyed in the fire, and his doctrines and his philosophies that also lead to death, going to be destroyed with him. That's why, again, the Lord says the last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. But also, too, we're going to jump to the book of Wisdom of Solomon. We're going to get chapter 5, verse 1. All right, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Because what we just read, John 10 and 10 at the beginning of the lesson, the thief is come to steal, kill, and destroy. Well, it's the thief that afflicted us and made no account of our labors. And who is that thief? Habakkuk 2 and 5, he is as death. That thief, that character death, is Esau, the so-called white man. So when it says, then shall the righteous stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. So we standing up in great boldness in the face of death. We standing up against the so-called white man. That's why Sirach, what is it, 33 and 15, and also 14, you know, good set against evil. We the good that's set up in the face of evil. And we standing up in great boldness. We the godly that's standing up against the face of the sinner. So we standing up against the face of death. So again, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. So we really standing up and complaining against this place like our people complain against Pharaoh and against Egypt, you know, in the book of Exodus. You know, just like the Lord heard their prayers, heard their complaints, well, we standing up and we doing the same thing. We praying as well as complaining, you know, against this evil, against this death that's been set up in the earth.
Sign is crying.
Yup, it all went well with her.
Oh yeah, I gotta subscribe to a lot of other channels.
That's beautiful. That's a blessing.
Stop on the block. I'm on our channels.
That's the best.
She said, I know I'm an Israelite. All praises. Study to show yourself approved.
Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. So yeah, I just kind of expounded on it that pretty much that we were set up in the face of death. Because remember, the Lord said the thief come to steal, kill, and destroy. So that's how they made no account of our labors. They stole us as a people. They stole our identity, and they got away with free labor. That's why he's the thief. That's why he said made no account of our labors. Well, we standing up in the face of death by bringing out this word in the face of Esau. So that's what Moses and Aaron did in the book of Egypt in the face of Pharaoh.
Move on to Revelation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next precept is coming from the book of Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 12, and it reads, Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Yep. Hey, and who is the devil? It's the so-called white man. Habakkuk 2 and 5. He is as death. That's why 1 Corinthians 15 and 26 that we just read that the last enemy which shall be defeated is death. Well, you know, him being defeated is a process. Well, now, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1, we standing against him in great boldness. It's like we in the center of the ring. You know, Esau been victor for so many generations. Well, now we up on our feet. You know, that valley of dry bones that's been raised up. Hey, we ready to fight against this enemy now. Hey, and that's why he know he got a short time, because we back on our feet.
Right. It's like in the movie, you know, the boxing movies, you know what I'm saying? The victor, he really get his butt whooped all the fight. The whole fight, he have a couple of good jabs, but then he have a point where he just getting beat down. And then, you know, right at the end, he regains his strength, you know, and then, you know, it's Pound Town from there on out, you know, and that's the time that we are quickly approaching. This devil, he know that he got but a short time. You know what I'm saying? That's why all these things are starting to come out. You know, he's getting exposed. He trying to hurry up and roll out his plan because he know his time is running out. You know, not the average. You know what I'm saying? Edomite don't know what's going on, but you know these bankers, they know exactly what's going on. Just like we out on these highways and hedges. You know what I'm saying? They behind closed doors trembling. You know what I'm saying? Because they know the things that's happening. They know the signs, you know, and that's why, you know, this is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's movie. He's just playing out the way it's supposed to play out. So we supposed to be out on these highways and hedges prophesying as we know we get closer. And they supposed to be behind closed doors trembling the way that they trembling because they know that they got but a short time left, you know.
Hey, yep. Hey, because it's a spiritual battle. The Lord has raised up in the spirit. That's why we standing in the face of those that afflicted us, hey, with His word. Because what was America in this whole wicked queendom built off of? Lies and deception. So we fight it with the truth. Hey, and we cutting this devil down. Hey, and that's why the brother read, the devil is coming down to see you having great wrath. And because Esau is losing the spiritual battle. Hey, so Esau gonna be like, F it. Hey, we gotta come in with the military.
Right.
That's why it's gonna be a blackout. That's why the internet gonna go out. You know, that's why they gonna come in with martial law, lock the cities down.
Kill everything moving.
Yep, kill everything moving. Hey, but ultimately he's looking for the elect.
Yep.
Hey, so that's why they gonna come down having great wrath. And remember, Sirach 33:15, the godly set against the sinner. So the Lord has set the stage for this final battle. Really, the stage is already set. But the spiritual battle ain't gonna turn into a battle with the flesh. Are you back? Yeah, so the spiritual battle gonna turn into a battle with the flesh. And well, we got another potential believer that the brother about to deal with. Hey, to give her some, you know, to give her some teachers. But hey, so that's why the devil gonna come down with great wrath. Hey, because you know he got a short time, because he's losing his spiritual battle. Hey, because the lies and the deceit and the misinformation is being quenched. The evil is being put out by this truth. Oh, it's all right. What's up?
I just kind of drove by and I was kind of interested, dude. Is that a Bible? So y'all are Bible believers?
But you know, there's different teachings and doctrines from the Bible. So there's many lies, but one truth. So the true understanding of the Bible.
The good thing is Jesus says He's the truth.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. So Jesus, it's an English name. They really go back to Zeus. See, Yeshua, that's also another name that was placed. So his true name would be Yahweh Shai in Hebrew. And the name of the Heavenly Father would be Yahweh. What would be your background, like your nationality?
I'm just a Christian. I was born again 2 years ago now. God completely entered me and changed my whole life. Started changing the way I do things, man. I started opening up the Bible, bro, and man, I am so blessed to have been blessed by Jesus.
All right, so
I'm assuming, by the way, I don't want to make assumptions, but just before we get in, are y'all Black Hebrew Israelites?
So the thing is, Black Hebrew Israelites was a thing that was created really by the mainstream news media.
Right.
Because when we look at this sign, all the Israelites, not so-called black people. We got Mexicans, Colombians, Cubans, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. So all Israelites are not black, and all black people are not Israelites. So you see, we don't got Africans on here. They would be black people, but they not Israelites. So the media created that term to make it about race.
I know what I'm kind of coming to right now.
No, that's cool, but you know we gotta push that out there. The news is trying to make us look like a hate group or like we some kind of identity extremists like the KKK. You know, it's not like that. We will be Hebrew Israelites. but as well as all these other people on here.
Do you believe only the descendants of Abraham can be saved by blood?
So Abraham had many descendants, but Jacob would be the chosen seed
Right.
that would be saved. This whole book is about Jacob, the children of Israel being saved.
Okay.
Because the Lord, so are you familiar with the book of Exodus?
Yes, I am.
So who did the Lord save? He said the Israelites from their oppressors, which would have been the Egyptians.
Right.
So salvation is only for those who would be oppressed by other nations of people.
So I just want to know if you're familiar with the term Gentile. It's the non-Jews.
So there's two kind of Gentiles.
So you're gonna say they're Jewish Gentiles, right?
So what made them a Jewish Gentile is they forgot the law, statutes, and commandments. So that means if they forgot the law, statutes, and commandments, they forgot the ways of the word. That means they was in the ways of the world. Because the Lord said, I set before you life and death, good and evil. Follow my laws that you may live. So it's either follow his laws or follow the laws of the world. So if they followed the ways of the other people, they would be considered Gentiles. They was living like Gentiles. For example, that's like, it's a thing in the so-called black community. When you got black people that's great, they go to white schools, you know, they call them Oreos, they call them Wigger. They be like, he ain't no brother, he ain't black, he a white boy. That's pretty much what Israelite Gentiles would be. There would be Gentiles by blood, but they grew up according to the ways of the people around them. So, what was you about to say about the Gentiles though?
Well, I was just gonna bring up the point, man. I believe the gospel is for everybody. Jesus opened it up for everybody. It's a new priesthood where Jesus Christ talks about it in Hebrews 12. And I just want to let you guys know, man, I believe that everybody can be saved according to the Bible. Everybody can be saved. If you say a white American cannot be saved, I feel like that's not the gospel, man. I don't worry about that because you're telling people they're going to hell. There's nothing they can do about it. When Jesus said, all who follow him, all who call upon his name will be
Hell
saved.
don't exist.
Alright.
Hell is not a place under the ground that people don't.
Doesn't exist yet.
No,
It says Hades will be casted into the lake of fire.
So the lake of fire is America, because we read the scriptures and tell you that the elements are going to melt with fervent heat. When anything melts, it liquefies. And how are the elements going to melt? By nuclear destruction. America is going to be destroyed by fire, by nuclear missiles. That's going to cause everything to melt, even the atmosphere itself. So America is going to be the lake of fire once she's hit with these intercontinental ballistic missiles. The ground is not going to open up. And what happened with Noah? When the Lord destroyed the earth, the rain came from above. Destruction comes from above, as well as now the destruction of fire is going to come from above. With Sodom and Gomorrah, the Lord rained fire and brimstone from above. It didn't come from beneath. But that's the media too. They said we black Israelites and say that white people can't be saved. Really, the gospel is that really all people can't be saved, but the Lord is only going to save the elect. That includes white people. White people can't be saved. Africans can't be saved. Chinese can't be saved. When you read the scriptures, 2/3 of the nation of Israel won't be saved either. The Lord's going to kill off most of his people, really, for still being Gentiles, giving into the ways of the world. But, so I think what you're saying is because of the new covenant that everybody can be saved.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to jump. I got the
And
book of...
it even points out how this was a promise from God in the Old Testament where he would call on those who he hadn't even called. Refers to the Old Testament where it says, I will call on those I didn't call. And it even talks about how he is opening it up to the Gentiles. He's opening it up to all people.
All right, I'm going to read this for you. So this is the new covenant. We're going to jump to the book of Hebrews 8 and 8. For finally fought with them, he say, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. covenant with the whole world or with all nations of people. He strictly said with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. And it says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers. So the covenant is only going to be to those that he made the old covenant with. Then it goes on to say, when I took them by the hand to lead them out the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I had all people can come in under the new covenant. The new covenant is the same as the old covenant, but instead of the law being given on stone, meaning externally, the law would be inward. So in, I guess, scientific terms, you could say that the house of Israel will have the laws a part of their DNA. You know, it'll be part of their makeup. So it won't be the fleshly bodies. The scripture say we'll get new bodies. That's how the laws will be written in our inward parts. It's not all people coming in. It's the same law, the same covenant, just a part of us, so that we can't go off and sin as the people no more, and you know, it be condemned. So that's the new covenant.
So what part? What scripture can you back up that all people can be saved? We just read. He said,
Yeah.
Judah and Israel.
Right.
That's Judah right here. The northern, the southern, and the northern kingdom. No, that's what he said. He can save everybody.
Well, he did make a new covenant with them as well. You know,
We just
that's for
read.
sure. I know. I'm agreeing with you.
So can you?
But I'm not saying that scripture to me doesn't necessarily say that for sure. That's what it's saying. That it's only, you know, the new covenant for them includes the other people to be able to join.
You pray to.
I pray to them.
Can I?
So, the letter J is how old is the letter J?
I pray to Yahweh, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, all those. But it's all the same.
So that letter J, when he was walking on earth, you think they was calling him Jesus then?
They definitely were.
They what?
They definitely were.
So if you in the barbershop, what's your name again? Nick Henry.
Okay, so
I'm saying?
the J and the I both come from the Y. The J and the Y, they both come from the same root. And it's I speak Spanish, so I can see the differences because they go the other route. Jesus in Spanish is Jesus. Jesus.
Jesus.
When you say Jesus, you saying Hail Zeus.
Hail Zeus.
That's not what it's saying, man.
That's really it. Really is.
That's definitely not what it's saying. Just because things sound similar doesn't mean that's what it is.
Well, where does Spanish come from?
Look, hold on.
It comes from the Greek and the Latin.
Hold on. There's English words that sound like you're saying, like, that's the way. And you can say that in English. But way is a bad word in Spanish. You're not saying that's the bad stuff, that's the bad thing. Obviously, just because it sounds similar doesn't mean it's like that, dude. But, hey, guys, I got somewhere to
Got one
be.
more scripture before you go.
Okay.
Let's go. Well, Acts 4:12, it says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So it said there's no other name that leads.
There's no other title.
Man, so what you doing? I'm going to read you this real quick. Revelation 22. It says, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. So a lot of the things that you're doing and that other people do, they say, yeah, it says that, but also this. When you say also, you add into the book. We got to read directly as the scriptures say.
Look, man, that's interpretation.
No, that's what it says.
I know it says name, but you can say, oh, I have the name of my company. I'm not named the same of my company, but I carry the name of my company because I carry the reputation of my company. It's the same word being interpreted that way. It has nothing to do with adding anything. It's the interpretation.
No, when you're talking about all people can come in under the new covenant, you add into the scriptures.
I definitely saw them preach to Gentiles, man. And the Gentiles
saw that?
I saw the scripture say I read the words. I saw the letters, the words.
So those Gentiles will be Israelites that were scattered, because just like if we're
But-
calling ourselves Israelites, we're scattered all
How do
over
you know
the
for
world.
sure those were Israelites that were scattered?
We read it.
I think at that point we're looking into something. You're looking into something that
Who's
obviously
scattered?
isn't there.
Who's scattered?
I couldn't know.
So-
You couldn't know on that part. You know.
Oh no, we know. So
unless it's in there.
so when you read, I'm guessing you're referring to the letters of Paul.
Yeah.
So when you read to the letters of Paul, it says to the churches of Galatia, for example. When you got, I don't know if you got the Blue Letter Bible app, but when you go to the Greek word for churches, church is literally meant an assembly of Israelites. Everybody didn't assemble in those churches.
I'll look at it.
How the churches are set up today to be a public place for all people, the church wasn't set up like that over 2,000 years ago. The church was a private place for Israelites.
Say
but
churches
not
and
to the
not
people.
synagogues.
Churches and synagogues, it's a building.
Right, but why is the word two different words used?
It's a building.
It's not just the building, it's the people itself who are followers of Jesus. But the building itself would be called the synagogue if it was just a gathering of Israelites. But I do gotta go, guys. I really appreciate y'all sharing with me. And either
What's
way,
up?
keep reading your word, bro. But most of all, I ask that y'all really look into being born again.
Hey man, you got it. I ain't go that way.
The Spirit is what guides us.
You
But-
gotta be reborn by the
Right. I share the gospel too, man. I love that y'all have the heart to share, because it takes
Oh,
the
we
fear of
sharing.
the Lord. I know.
Seen
It takes the
people
fear of the
coming
Lord
up.
to do that, man. I just want to encourage y'all to keep.
Hey,
keep
only
searching.
one of us can be right. You know that. You know if who's ever wrong, they're gonna be put to death. So if you're right, you're gonna be rewarded. But if you're wrong, you're gonna be
Trust
put
in the
down.
Spirit of the Lord, man.
Right.
All right. Hey,
Long
long.
calling on the name of God and Jesus, we're gonna perish here too. But you have a good day,
I
Floppo.
don't think so, man.
All right,
Y'all
big.
stay blessed.
Big.
All right.
Pardon my back. All right. Where we at? Revelation.
I just read 12 and 12 that he gonna come down with great wrath.
Okay.
To my mom, daughter Yahweh, she said Shalom, son.
Shalom.
Shalom. The water for tuning in with me.
Okay,
You
yo.
know, with us.
We just did Revelation 12 and 12. Okay. So the next precept is coming from Revelation chapter 17, starting at verse 12. Yeah. And I'm gonna read through 14, and it reads, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received the kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast."
And those kings will pretty much be the wicked that's been set up to have rulership over the earth. And that would be the same devil that's coming down to us having great wrath, because he's losing the spiritual battle, which is the point we was leaving off with. So Esau gonna come by force in the flesh. He's gonna make it a carnal battle by coming in with his military. Are you gonna let the brother finish up?
These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords, King of kings, and they that are with him are called the chosen and the faithful.
Yeah, so just previously, Revelation 12 and 12, the brother read that the devil gonna come down having great wrath. And pretty much he's gonna make war with the people. And I think it's Revelation 12 also that says, and the dragon is gonna make war with the remnant of her seed that keep the commandments, which will be the elect. So Esau's gonna make war with us. But what the brother just read, these shall make war with the Lamb. So not only is this wicked devil, Esau the white man, gonna make war with the nation of Israel, but the elect, he's gonna make war with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. That's why they got a space force in the military and not a space, which would be the heavens. Hey, but what? They gonna be overcome. And what kind of devil do you gotta be? You know, not to only fight against the Lord's people, but try to fight against the Lord himself. Well, that's why the Lord said the last enemy that shall be defeated is death.
I mean, yeah, like just to piggyback on what you just said, like, man, what kind of devil you gotta be, you know what I'm saying, to think that you gonna win a war against the creator of the heavens and the earth, man. You know, the spirit really has to be put on you to think like that, man. We know that Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he gonna put the spirit on them to try to come up against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know, his people as well, but when he try to come up against, they try to come up against, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, like, come on, man, it's just gonna be a righteous ass whooping, man. A righteous ass whooping, man. Like, I mean, like, I know these bankers know that they got for a short time, but I mean, man, what kind of spirit on them got them thinking that they gonna win this thing, though, man? Like,
what Obadiah say, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Hey, that's why they know they got a short time, because not only is they being overcome by this word, being overcome by the truth, but they see this place fall apart. And that's not only is this place falling apart, but the nation of Edom itself is falling apart. They not the same people as they were when they came into power.
Right, next precept is coming from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 8, and it reads, "And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day." That's all I got.
Oh, okay. Actually, I think I actually put that in wrong. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I put that in wrong. I think it was actually supposed to be Deuteronomy 30 and 3. Yeah. Actually, 30 and 7. I think it's supposed to be up one. That's what it was.
30 and 7. iPad's moving a little slow.
Oh, that's all right. But yeah,
You say Deuteronomy 30 and 7?
yep. Yeah, so the Lord is going to defeat this enemy death, but it's a process, you know, and that process has already started, and, you know, and it's going on right now. Hey, this place is being wiped away, and the brother gonna get it.
All right. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 7, and it reads, "And the Lord thy power Yahweh will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee."
Yup. Yeah, so the Lord is putting the curses on our enemies. So the same curses that destroyed us as a people for so many generations is now being lifted off of us and being placed on Esau. That's why you got white on white crime.
Fentanyl deaths, you know?
Oh yeah.
Because remember crack was an epidemic, and you know what they used to say, just say no to drugs. Well, hell, I'm saying the same thing to them. Just say no. What's so hard? You know, what's so hard saying no to fentanyl? You know, and it's killing these Edomites. You know what I'm saying?
Fentanyl, opioids,
all that.
prescription drugs. Esau get a load off all that.
Like Dave Chappelle said, I don't see what's so hard. Just say no. You know, just say no to drugs. You know, all these curses turning around on them. All these nations starting to expose Babylon the Great. They openly saying, "Hey, let's do away with the dollar." You know what I'm saying? Like now, I know me where I'm coming from, where I live. Man, I'm seeing more and more Edomites on the corners of homeless. Like
that was used to be us.
That used to be us. I'm talking about I'm seeing more and more Edomites homeless. And then I remember like just from like working call center jobs, it used to just be full of J. You know what I'm saying? In Issachar. Now they losing their jobs. Hell, they working the jobs that we work now. Mm-hmm. Hey man, it's a beautiful thing, man, to see these curses come up on these people. You know what I'm saying? Edomites on the corner with no shoes on, with gangrene on in their toes and stuff. Like, man, you know, I roll the window down. They think I'm finna give them $1. I say all praise. All praise. Y'all might see outside, man. Real for these curses, man. Like, white on white crime, that's a beautiful thing, man. Every time I see something about Ukraine and Russia or I just see like Edomites around town, you know what I'm saying, going in it, I be like, oh man, it's beautiful, man. I like seeing Esau all dirty on the side of the road. It's a good look on him, man.
Hey, it's fitting.
It's fulfilling and it fits him, man.
It fit him better than it fit us.
Right.
You know, they look better out there under the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
They ain't their natural habitat. Ain't they the caveman?
I ride by and throw him, I wish I could ride by and throw him a chicken bone, 8 chicken bone, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Or riding apple or something. Word to you.
Well, yeah, that's the curses being placed on our enemies. Now the Lord said we'll be a proverb and a byword. Well, Esau's not been a proverb and a byword. Meaning, you know, people look at us and have all kind of racist things and prejudiced thoughts. Well, now everybody got racist, prejudiced thoughts about Esau. Every time it's a mass shooter, people say, oh, it must have been a white man. Yup. Incest.
Oh man. Every time you look around, I seen a song that, you know, I know they was joking, but that's really them. Like they say, behind every joke is a little bit of truth.
Yeah.
It was two Edomites saying, you're my sister, you're my brother, but I love you, like in a sexual way. But they were joking. But like they say, behind all jokes is a little bit of truth, man. You know, that's serious, man. I love these curses, man, seeing these curses reverse, you know what I'm saying? They still on us. You gotta acknowledge that they still on us. But you can tell, you can see through the power of spirit, y'all by Shimmy Shot. And you know what I'm saying? It is, the curses are reversing, man. They are reversing on these people, man. I love it.
And shalom to the elder Sagalab Barakim.
Shalom.
Hey, the water for tuning in with us. And but yeah, the Lord said, let the brother is bread. The Lord gonna put these curses on our enemies. And the curses on our enemies, that's the process of the last enemy, death, being destroyed. Which we know death is the so-called white man, because he is as death. But how did the curses destroy us as a people? But they didn't destroy us fully. That's why Malachi 3:6, the Lord says, I'm the Lord, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Lord put the curses on us, you know, to destroy us, but to not fully destroy us. But just like the Lord said, the sons of Jacob will not be consumed, or the sons of Esau will be fully consumed by these curses. So with the curses, the Lord still had mercy on us as a nation of people. Well, with Esau, hey, when the Lord places curses on Esau, the Lord not gonna have no mercy. So Esau gonna ultimately be destroyed by these curses that's now being placed on him.
Sir. Mostly gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, famine, you know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all by Shimmy Shot got cooked up, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait. Lord willing, I'm a part of that number, man. I can't wait to see these people destroyed, man.
And not only the curses, but the plagues of Egypt gonna be placed upon Esau. Because the plagues of Egypt, hey, they didn't target the Israelites. Or these plagues of Egypt not gonna target us if we of the elect. But the two-thirds of our people that joined unto Esau, they gonna take part of those plagues as well. So Esau gonna have the curses, then the plagues.
Right, next precept is coming from the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 6 through 8. And it reads, reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow given her, for she set in her heart I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in her one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh thy power, who judgeth her.
Hey, and that's the last enemy, death, being destroyed. And going down to verse 8, short plagues coming one day. Hey, death, mourning, and famine. That's to destroy this enemy, death. Ultimately, before she's destroyed by fire. And then, going back up, how much she glorified herself, give her much sorrow. So for all the good things that she had, she's going to receive just as much evil.
Proud to be an American.
Hey,
all that kind of stuff.
It's going to be sad to be an American, real soon.
I don't want to be American no more.
So that proud gonna turn to sorrow, from sugar to shit. That's why Revelation 17 say those riches gonna come to naught. These Lamborghinis, the money, all they riches gonna melt like fervent heat.
From barbecue to meal.
Damn, yeah.
All right, next precept going into that, back it up, is Ecclesiasticus chapter 40 and verse 9 and 10. It says, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamity, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood.
So yeah, that's also going back of Revelation 8 and 7. How much she glorified herself, give her more torment and sorrow. Because the Lord said, death, famine, bloodshed, the sword, that's created for the wicked. So the same thing that these devils was blessed by, it's going to be what they be cursed by. They was blessed to have an abundance of food, fast food, restaurants all over the place, DoorDash. That's her living deliciously. Well, now she going to have a famine. So the same thing the Lord blessed her with, and the Lord is going to curse her with. And then what? The sword. Hey, the sword is how America came into power. She came into, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So she came into power by the sword, and now the sword is going to return upon her own head. So death, bloodshed, strife, famine, all those things was really created for the wicked, so that this last enemy, death, may be destroyed. Which is Esau, the so-called white man. And that's the process of how death would be destroyed. It's a process. From the curses, to the plagues, to the fire.
And how people have been saying for years, they say they've been saying that's going to happen. All right. Them days we one more day closer, man. Because eventually, we ain't going to be out here at all.
Yup.
And when these people don't see us out here on the highways and hedges at all no more, man, that's how you know it's upon us.
And that's going to be the Lord closing down the shop.
Yup.
And the shop closed.
Truth shop is shut down.
Yup.
All right, next precept is coming from the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 22, and it reads, for I will rise up against them, said the Lord Yahweh, thy power of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant, and son and nephew, said the Lord.
So, the Lord said He's going to cut off son and nephew. If you kill the man, which carries the seed, you kill that bloodline.
Yep.
That nation is no more. Hey, but whose son and whose nephew? The sons and nephews of the wicked. Who would be Esau, Edom, the so-called white man? And then going up a verse, Isaiah 14 and 21, prepare slaughter for his children. It don't say for all children, it's for his children. Hey, that's specific. Hey,
go ahead. No, I was just gonna say not all children. It says his children.
Yup. Hey, that's the process of the last enemy, death, being destroyed. And how do we know it's concerning the so-called white man? Because the Lord said, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. So, who forefathers stole America, wiped out the Native Americans and the indigenous people of North, South, and Central Americas, stole us off of Africa, committed identity theft, deceived the nations? It would be the so-called white man.
And the Edom might say, but I didn't own any slaves. Hey, but your great-great-granddaddy did.
Yep, and they got the benefits of it.
Right, so prepare slaughter for you for what your great-great-granddaddy did.
Yep, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Who building cities all over the damn place? You know, every time, especially in Texas.
Right.
Man, it'll be fields and grass and trees. Next week it'll be a gas station put up.
You go home, wake up the next morning, it's 300 Issachar brothers building apartment complexes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Complex.
Yeah, then you go to work. By the time you get out of work, they done rerouted the whole freeway. Like, damn,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You know what I'm
Crazy,
saying?
man. It's crazy.
Esau-
Making nothing out of something.
Yeah. Esau not even taking care of the cities he got now, but continuing to build more cities.
Yep.
But yeah, the Lord gonna put our son and nephew to destroy this enemy death.
Next precept is coming from the book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and 16, and it reads, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
So it's the sons and nephews of Esau that's gonna be cut off. Because what the Lord said, lest there be any profane person as Esau. Profane means unholy, unrighteous, you know, pretty much, you know, against truth and righteousness. You know, who sold his birthright, deceived the nations. You know, he's the most profane person here in the earth. He's the most unholy. You know, he is as death.
Telling lies everywhere he go.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? Falsifying the truth.
Yep.
Starting wars. You know what I'm saying? Starting wars between two different countries and playing both sides of the field. You know, he got to pay for this, man. You know, it's coming to an end. It's like those people in the world, you know, that they always lying and everybody believe in them. Like, man, ain't nothing you can do about it. But hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, he coming back to set the record straight, man. And all Esau the wicked do is lie. He got everything by lying and deceit. That's why we tearing them down with nothing but this truth. So we don't need no helicopters with no guns mounted on it, you know what I'm saying, to fight him. You know what I'm saying? We got this word. We got the truth. You know what I'm saying? We got the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's all we need to fight this devil, man. The truth.
Yep.
We just need the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. It's like throwing water on the witch with this word. You just melt away, man. I love it. I love what this truth has transformed my mind into, man. I love being away from this world and everybody think that I'm weird and wicked and stuff like that, okay? When the lights go out and Jacob's trouble happens, hey, man, I'll be laughing at you. Lord willing, I'm a part of that number. It's gonna be like I'm watching a Cat Williams sitcom or something, man.
Oh, man,
just
yeah.
laughing at these people, man.
And we ain't lying. That's why Isaiah 65, the Lord said we shall rejoice. Everybody else gonna be ashamed.
All right, moving on to the next precept. That's about it.
Oh yeah. Let me get Sagalon post to 2nd Ezra 8:50 through 51. For many great miseries shall be done in the world, because they have walked in great pride, but understood thou for thyself. Man, let me read that again. But understood thou for thyself, and to seek out the glory for such as be like thee. So yeah, so great miseries is coming to take out death. You know, it's not gonna be an easy fall. It's gonna be miserable every step of the way. And these devils miserable right now, but they're gonna get more and more miserable. And we commanded to understand and seek out the glory. You know, others that that be like us. So we're looking for like-minded brothers.
Right, next precept is coming from the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9. And it reads, if any man have an ear, let him hear. 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
And then the scriptures say he is as death. Then we got Revelation 6 and 4. He was blessed with the sword to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. Well, this character, this nation of people who is death, they're going to be bound in chains. They're going to be in slavery. They took us captive, so they're going to be taken captive. And then not only that, they're going to be killed with the same sword, that they used against us.
Right, somebody got to pay for that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that these devils got to pay for that. And that brother who walked up talking about that all nations, everyone can be saved. Well, hey man, that's not going according to Yahweh Shah's word. Because if everybody gonna be saved, then who's gonna be left to pay for, all these abominations that Edom did, to the children of Israel and all throughout the four corners of the earth, man.
Hey, yep. Hey, and that's the great misery that's coming in the latter time because they had great pride. So their pride gonna be flip-flopped. They're gonna go from the top to the bottom. They're gonna be in chains. So that's a great misery. That's coming to this character death that took peace from the earth. Killed everybody, and they going in chains. Yep.
Next precept is coming from the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse. I'm gonna start at 17. And I'm gonna read through 19, and it reads. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor.
So yeah, at their end, it's gonna be without honor. They came into power. The white man was the standard of the earth. Everybody looked up to him. He was full of honor. Well, at his end, before death is taken out, before the last enemy, death, is defeated, he's going to be without honor. Just how the Lord took the honor away from us, the honor is going to be taken away from him. That's why the Lord said, I'm going to put the curses on your enemies that persecute you.
All right. Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial.
Yeah, so they're going to die quickly. That's why Zephaniah 1 and 8. He shall make a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. And it shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. And what? They have no hope.
Hope.
Hey, it's somebody out here that ain't got no hope.
Oh yeah.
Like you say, somebody got to pay.
Somebody got to have no hope, man. If everybody can be saved, why the scripture said somebody ain't going to have hope.
Yeah.
It can't just be the devil. It can't be Satan.
Yeah.
Everything is referred back to Satan. Come on, man.
Man, yeah, and the scriptures clearly says they.
Yep.
Satan is it's one spirit.
Yep. The devil is all these motherfuckers. So like all these damn devils.
Yeah.
All right. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation.
Yeah, so the unrighteous generation is going to have a horrible end. And we know who the unrighteous is. Remember, Esau, unless there be anybody profane or as unholy as Esau, Malachi 1 and 4, they call Edom the border of wickedness. So we know Esau is that unrighteous. He's going to have a horrible end. So Yahweh Shah said, I'm the way, the truth, for the life. The ways of Yahweh Shah leads to life. Or Esau, the white man, who is as death, his ways lead to death. Not only that, his own way gonna lead him to his own destruction, and that's gonna be accomplished by World War III. So they're gonna have a horrible end, only to go into captivity.
It's gonna be beautiful, man.
Uh huh.
Right? So we're gonna end it off on that note. I hope that it was edifying. You had anything else you want to add, brother?
Nah, that was all that.
Right? Like I said, I hope that it was edifying. We already facing the east, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well, teaching His truth in its entirety. Peace and salutation to the hopefully elect out there, and also a hearty shalom to the brothers that's on the highways and hedges, making their bodies a living sacrifice. Shalom.
Shalom. Hey, DTA.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. How did it all go with the second sister?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you in that Honda Accord?